Welcome to Shooting the Shit with Rhonda and T. Tonight we're reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 22. Before we get started, D.
Smack that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel. Mike, you ready?
What was we doing, child? Oh, yeah. Love and Marriage Huntsville. We still fighting in Kimmy and Maurice's backyard. Amin is chasing Marcel around the backyard. Marcel is hiding behind Tisha or any woman that he could find to put between him. Kiki is behind her husband. Do it. Like she trying to get it really popping. Kiki really wanted to see her husband rip Marcel apart. That's what she wanted.
Yeah.
Like fiending for it.
Yeah.
This is shit they be talking about when they say women be getting their husband in a predicament, because that's not really something he needed. Because Marcel is the type of dude that will press charges and have your husband sitting up in the jail somewhere, talking about he shouldn't have put his hands on him. Kimmy strong arm Kiki on out the door. She done got her hands all tangled around the girl's waist, and Jalen standing in the background. So they were
Good to see Jalen again.
Jalen.
I thought Jalen gave up on us.
He about did. Martell looking at the whole thing, he was like, the ladies be talking too much shit and they stand a lot of drama. They should learn how to be more like the fellas, because the fellas just be chilling.
Y'all be fighting a long time. Y'all was doing all the fighting last season.
He damn near put his fist through Marcel's chest last week. He found out Marcel was talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
That might have went different if there weren't any cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy and Maurice said they think Amin should have removed Kiki from the situation. They said it wasn't no point in him defending her, because you can't defend somebody when they wrong. I think Amin should have absolutely defended Kiki. He could reprimand her when he get to the house, but
what his wife in the moment he's supposed to do what he's supposed to do.
What is he talking about? This nigga talking about getting her drug tested. He had no choice but to defend his wife. He did what he was supposed to do. We're not about to do that.
We all would have been like, why he sit there?
Why he didn't say nothing?
Like that?
Yeah. He wasn't given a choice in the matter. Kiki is in her confessional talking about, child, I'm 100% confident I can pass a drug test. What she wants to have happen is for Marcel to take a lie detector test. And I want her to stop giving a shit what Marcel and Tisha got going on over there in both of them houses that they were in.
That's just crazy. Because at the end of the day, she already let y'all know she's standing by her man regardless of what y'all got. So I don't know why y'all trying to keep making it a thing. You can put
she
it right
wouldn't have
in
to
her
worry
face.
about me saying nothing else about nothing.
Mm-mm.
You should have told whoever makeup artist it was, don't call me with that shit. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-mm.
Mel and Stormy go outside to check on Kiki. What did Mel say? Your favorite part?
I rewind that part so many times. I couldn't even watch the episode. She said, what did she say? She said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that happened at your house, Maurice. That's why I'll be having people around my house.
I said, man, I died laughing because she sounded so sincere. That's why I don't have people at mine. I'm so hurt.
At least not these people.
I had to see nothing else that episode. That was everything.
I invited her ass over here when you already know there's a situation happening with Kiki. Even her cousin said, like, what's her name? Courtney, with her cute self. Even she said at one point, like, outside of the addiction situation, apparently Kiki always been a pop-off. So y'all done escalated it to a different level over here with that. We did not know Kiki was a pop-off, but apparently that's what it is. Mel was out there basically telling her girl, like, what happened? What happened that that led to this? Did she say something to you? Did she do something to you to make you want to do that? And you know, Kiki's like, she disrespected me by ignoring me.
That's not how that works, Kiki.
Mel was like, and so what could you have done? She was talking to her like she was one of them kids in the school. What could we have done differently? Maybe we could have taken a different approach to this situation. And Kiki was like, yeah, maybe I could have met her with the same energy. I was like, Mel is enjoying not being the center of attention. Like, let me just go over here and get my check and not be stressed out. Y'all stressing, not me. Yes, Kiki, you could have met her with the same energy. There's no way you're gonna be able to convince anybody that slapping that lady in the face with a drink was a solution to whatever you got going on over there.
Because it's like you came in on that. You came in ready for that.
You came ready.
Yeah.
Ready. Yeah. Had your husband all wound up. So Marceau is inside, like he's still, this is the irritating thing about Marceau in this situation, because I still can't stand his ass regardless. You making the whole thing about this freaking rumor, and now you're talking about Kiki is just jealous of Tisha's life. What exactly?
They go.
What about what? What are we jealous about? I think Kiki is still mad about not being the person on the show. But
that's what they do. He do it, her mama do it, and that's why Tisha's attitude is the way she is.
Because it's almost like he knows exactly what to go to in order to gain the, you know, the shit. Everybody already was on that shit is wrong. Just shut up. We don't even need it. You giving commentary that we do not need, you know. Is Kiki jealous? I'm gonna go with probably. I'm gonna go with probably.
Because like you said, old girl said she already been a pop-off queen. She probably was the more popular one. She probably had the crazier personality, so she thought she would be that one being the big star, and it ended up being Tisha. And it ain't that. It's just
Tisha's star though. It's Tisha's
star. That's what I'm saying. It's not. I'm not saying that she's a star. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But I mean, but it seems like that's what Kiki sees, though. It seems like that's what she sees. She sees that
this could have been like, why is she the one on here? That should be me.
Right. Aside from that, like Tisha's over there with a husband that doesn't respect her, because I feel like Kiki's husband actually likes her, so there's nothing there to be jealous of. We know y'all's finances is full bullshit, so I don't feel like ain't nobody ever said they were struggling financially. Nobody, because if it was a thing, they would have been said it by now. I feel like that would have been brought up in the midst of all of this shit. So I don't see why we would be jealous of Tisha for any other reason except for her position on the show. Her life, you stretching it. Kiki says she's done with it. Tisha says she's done with it. They done with each other. I want them to be done with each other. They've never liked each other. It don't seem like y'all talk about y'all used to be close
up against each other.
Well, and I'm gonna say this: I've been in that position before, and it didn't make no difference with the cousins. You know what I'm saying? We didn't care, but Tisha's mother and Kiki's father didn't like each other. That part was not the case, you know, with me. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that I had to constantly be hearing how much my mother hated this person or didn't like this person. That energy was never there. And you know, if your parents don't like somebody, you generally kind of take on that same.
I had that same conversation with a friend the other day. I was like, that's
the day.
Like literally yesterday. I was like,
I have to adopt that. Did you say friend of the day?
No, not friend of the day. I had that conversation the other day with a friend.
I don't care. I'm gonna go to work and be like, I'm gonna pick a friend of the day. It's gonna be the same friend, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I was like, same thing. I was like, you and they mama don't get along, and she's going to take her mother's side regardless. That's her mother at the end of the day. And you can say XYZ, I mean, it was siblings. It was same situation. two siblings and you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to your niece. Yes, your niece is gonna feel a way about you because her mother feels a way about you. That's just how that goes.
Even if she knows, like Stormy, that her mother is completely unreasonable, she doesn't have an issue with her aunt, but she's still gonna stand with her mother. And so this shit with Kiki and Tisha goes far back. I think they should be done. That's what I think. Y'all be done because we're done. Here come Tiffany with Baby Lou. Tiffany missed the fight. That's probably a good thing because we didn't need Baby Lou mixed up in the fools running around the backyard.
Just like he's just, why am I here, mother? That's how
Listen,
he was looking.
I said, Baby Lou is tired of y'all and this foolishness, and he just got here.
Baby Lou,
I'm irritated. I'm irritated with Lou a little bit at this point because.
Why are you irritated with Lou? Big Lou?
Yeah.
Why?
You can't just not be nowhere ever. You just gonna make Tiffany show up everywhere by herself. You just don't like. Did you check all the way out?
Was she invited? Was she invited? Just saying. They ain't invited her to nothing else. He probably thought she wasn't invited. Was she? Or did she just show up?
Shit. How did she know about it?
That's why I'm trying to get Stormy told her or somebody, because they ain't invited her to nothing else this season.
I am dead. Well, I'm glad she missed Kiki, because the way Kiki was feeling, Tiffany might have caught a hot one. She might have got one. Kimmy gets her Jeep. Kimmy bounced on y'all with this foolishness. I would have done the same thing. I want a Jeep so bad. And while y'all over here carrying on with Kiki, and you notice her best friend is nobody. Nobody from the
She left with her real friend and they got in the Jeep. She was like, you got your Jeep? You ain't bring your Jeep way out.
We're gone. While they're gone, everybody's sitting at the table discussing, we're getting the recap of what just happened. And Marceau is over there in his feelings because he's just tired of the rumors, and I can't care. Are you okay? They over there. Are you okay? You don't want to eat? No. He just wants to stare off into the wilderness as if Kiki came in here and really did something so terrible to him. Tisha, the one with the Kool-Aid in her hair. Marceau. I'm just saying. Mel is like, do you want another shirt? Do you want... Man, I sure am sorry that happened to you, girl.
That was sticky. Now, Kimmy, you could have went there and got another shirt, though.
She said she didn't want it. She just upset that it's white, but girl.
That's why you should have took it off. Bring it here.
Tiffany came through, Tiffany said the worst person you can be around is somebody that don't have nothing to lose. Now, who said Kiki don't have nothing to lose, Tiffany? What are you talking about?
Who said Tiffany don't like Kiki at all?
Clearly.
She said Kiki ain't got nothing to lose.
And Tisha don't really care for Tiffany, but they friends that day because they agree that they don't like Kiki together. Poor Courtney. She's sitting over there trying to not be in the middle. She's trying to understand what's happening.
That's
cousin Courtney. She over there trying to get an understanding without taking sides. What she does know is the rumors been out there, Marceau, and Kiki ain't the only one spreading them. She's heard the rumors out there in the streets. That's what she does know. Marceau and Tisha trying to spin this story. Like, I hate it when they do this. Like, they keep convoluting the story and trying to paint Kiki out to be this liar, and she's over here lying and doing drugs. And I'm like, one thing don't have nothing to do with the other. We having two different conversations over here because the people is out here gossiping about your business again. And Kiki didn't start the rumor. She just spread it a little bit because she was over there telling Mel and all these other people what the streets was saying. So.
And evidently and we was right. It's the makeup artist. She was on the other channel and Kimmy makeup artist was in it and Tisha's and Kiki and Stormy knew about it because people was like, well, why Stormy ain't say something? If she already knew about, because everybody know that Tisha don't care.
I wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
And I damn sure wouldn't say nothing if I was the makeup artist. And this is one thing I do know, because it's, it's a side, in the same industry, that I'm in. One way to ruin your money is to run your mouth. I hear people talk about shit all the time, and it go in and it don't ever come out of my mouth, because I'm the person that's gonna get blamed for the shit. It's always gonna go back to what I said, because you're the person, the makeup artist, the hairstylist, you're the person that runs across all these people. You know what I'm saying? So the worst thing you could do is run your mouth. I don't know what's going on with their makeup artists, and I live in a bigger city. In Huntsville, they probably all for sure or know each other, related to each other. And
what I'm wondering though, the girl that was at Mel's table, is she one of them? Remember the mysterious girl that was friends with Coleslaw, and then they had blasted her out? Remember she's
a hairstylist. She's a hairstylist.
Okay, because I was wondering.
But I think her thing was, though, she did the hair for Tisha, I think. That girl.
Right. And the girl who supposedly messed around with Marceau was Tisha's makeup artist.
See what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like somebody won't be sleeping with your man and grinning in your face, because that's
all
what they
the time.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a makeup artist. Clearly, you could tell. This is what we working with.
Well, and I gotta go and watch the whole interview, but evidently Kimmy makeup art. Remember when she said that she wanted her to fire her makeup artist for telling it, because evidently Kimmy fired her makeup artist for talking about it. So she wanted Kiki to do the same thing.
For talking about it?
I guess to being all in the mix of, all of that. Because it went to production. They was talking to production and all of that.
I did hear that. And I was like, y'all went to production talking about Marcel was having an affair. I would never.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably why Kimmy fired her. Like, this shit is too messy, and I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Girl, y'all doing too much. It ain't even, who in the hell cares? Who cares? That ain't even juicy. You want to hook up with Marcel, be making me look at you like, that's interesting. Why?
Just cause maybe they just trying to be on TV, because people do thirsty stuff just to be on TV.
Yeah, that's true. Mel asked Marcel why did him and Amin get into it, and he started making jokes basically about doing drugs and making everybody uncomfortable, because everybody's like, it's actually not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what she's dealing with. That's what Courtney was trying to get across. Like, if that's the truth, then you got to be approaching that with compassion.
He is but he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. Because when you looked at the other side of the table, Stormy, Courtney, and Mel all looked uncomfortable. And then on his side of the table, Martell and Tisha were laughing. Martell,
no. Martell went because I rewinded this part a couple times too. When Stormy started crying, Martell did one of them down the fletch, like, get your boy. Like, he always, he did that. I kept rewinding that too. Like, his reaction, like, this dude, like, get him.
Well, I get like, I mean, I think he's an asshole too. Because they all of them are. When Amin was talking about how Maurice is cut from a different cloth, I'm like, no, he's actually not. They're not cut from the same. They're cut from the same cloth. Yeah. But he reacted. But I'm like, Kiki, you can't think that people gonna put humor to whatever, and You in Crime Stoppers, that's a joke waiting to happen, girl. And now you in here leaving this lady splashed up with a glass of whatever that was. That's just not normal. You just don't go places doing that. And if you have a past of doing drugs, then people are always gonna go to that when you start acting out of character. That's the first thing they gonna go to is you high? Because I know you got to be high. Because normally people don't walk around slapping glasses at individuals. It ain't even that serious.
Because it wasn't that serious. So
even the conversation that she was trying to have was like, girl, what is we doing?
And the whole thing, it was like, it was out the blue. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't you came in and then it came up. You came in like, and let me tell you, and
she came in, she pulled a chair out at the table and was like, oh, bitch. You know, she gonna put it on Tisha. Tisha didn't speak, but she was already ready. You was ready, girl. Ready. You went from 0 to 100.
She was ready.
Marcel was over here trying to explain how when the women get into it, it puts men in a predicament, like where they can't like now say something to the women. So, because he said something like
he said that say something to the women.
He always does. But in this situation, now I feel like he's trying to save face for what happened with Amin, because he said that shit about the drug test to piss off Amin. And I was like, no, that was a direct attack on Kiki. I think you wasn't thinking about Amin until he was chasing you around and you realized you made a mistake.
He was, absolutely. Absolutely.
You was like, oh shit.
Yep, he forgot Amin was even there. He
forgot he was there.
Yeah.
So don't act like that's what that was. And then Stormy says, is that what you were trying to do to Courtney? And that's the situation. I think that's absolutely what that was. But girl, you sat up there calling that man a bitch. And so he can't respond to you. So yeah, he's zinged it at Courtney. And her thing was, what if Courtney would have told you to stand up? And he said, I would have stood up. And she said, to get your ass whooped? Possibly, probably. But Stormy,
I was like, she's still calling him a bitch without calling him a bitch.
Still.
Yeah. She like, you still calling him a bitch without saying it. Yeah.
And Maurice was like, when you call a man a bitch, you're doing it to trigger him. And you are. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, she kept trying to explain herself, like, why she did it, and asked Martell, like, if I called you a bitch, then what would you say? I'm a big bitch, or don't call me that. Stormy, it's already, why are you calling somebody a bitch, though? Mm-hmm. And it depends on which man you talking about, because you might get one that might react differently.
Because I think Martell will react different. I don't think he got no problem going after no woman.
Hell no, we seen him hollering and screaming at Mel's mama. He don't mind going after older women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, Stormy doubled down. She said, yeah, he a bitch anyway, though. So
yeah,
she ain't sorry.
Stop it.
Kimmy asked Courtney if she thinks that Kiki needs help. And Courtney was like, I mean, I've seen the anxiousness and the sweats and things, but I don't know, like, that it's drug related. And I'm like, well, then what is it then, Courtney?
Look here. Courtney, y'all don't want to say it because it's a sensitive subject. But
Kiki said it.
Her behavior been, you said who said it?
Kiki said it. Out of her mouth.
Kiki said herself?
Well, maybe not intentionally, but what she said was Marcel was making fun of her history of drug use and her possible relapse.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
He also said she was accused, but she wasn't convicted. She be real fancy with the way she say things as she's telling on her own damn self.
And now that's what I said. Now, that's what I said about y'all keep talking about. She ain't do it just because she wasn't convicted. Don't mean that she didn't do it. They let people who shoplift go all the time.
All the time. Especially like you just took a lock. Like if she would have took a certain amount of money, like for them, it ain't even worth it.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be under a certain amount. And she got away. They said she put the other stuff back and she left with the lock. So we know a lock ain't over a certain amount.
$12. And that's like pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, Marcel gets frustrated and he starts venting his frustrations about like the things that they've done to Kiki. I mean, for Kiki. And I felt him on that.
Yeah. I believe him.
When he was saying like when your husband wasn't there for you or your mother wasn't there for you, I personally don't feel like they weren't there for her necessarily. I feel like when people are on drugs, they avoid going to their husband and their mother. And you know what I'm saying? So they go to somebody else so they can kind of hide what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? Get some help. And then people be like, get some help. You can't do this, you know, because at the end of the day, Amin is popping off because Amin is affected too. This is shit like she talking about she been sick and she been in the hospital. They got 3 kids and one is playing football. You know firsthand how much, you know, that involves. And they got a high school football student. That means Kiki been somewhere laying around, high or not high. We don't know. We gonna call it sick. Just like Jannard be sick over there on Force. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But Amin is carrying the weight of that. And then he's freaking embarrassed. He got to go to work. His wife down to the Crime Stoppers and stuff. So he's going through it too. He wound up, Marcel. He was probably about to rip your head off because it's frustrating. So when you bring up the drug thing, you don't just hurt Kiki. You hurt all the people in her family that she's dealing with. And I got his frustration. Like Stormy over there talking about... She's clean though. She's and he like, how do you know, Stormy? Are you really even around her like that? Have you ever known anybody that's on drugs? And she's like, yeah, her best friend was on drugs and she used to live with her. She don't live with her no more. I think when Stormy said that, she realized how crazy she sounded because she got all emotional thinking about how bad you wanted your friend to be clean, but and clearly
she wasn't. And so I think at that point that's when it struck her because you want her to be clean, but it's like Courtney, but you know she ain't there now.
Marcel went over and apologized. He realized right then, you know, Marcel was so busy being Marcel that his mouth got in front of his self-awareness and didn't see until it was too late that he was, you know, triggering her. But maybe she needed that though. I felt like she needed that. Like mostly I feel like Marcel was doing too much. In that moment, I'm like, Stormy, shut the fuck up because you don't know. You just saying. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even like the way Kiki be answering questions and stuff. She sounded a fool. Like she sounded like somebody that's lying, to be honest. Her explanations for things seem like a lie. Martell, Courtney, and Chris is down to the gym. Martell always talking about he helping somebody with a meal plan. Shut up, Martell.
Yeah. You ain't believing it.
No. Because I think he doesn't eat like healthy meals. I think he just happens to be in good shape and he works out. But I think he eats like beanie weenies and shit because he don't have a wife to cook for him no more.
Oh.
And I don't see him like, you know, what's the name?
Ain't cooking at the chateau.
Look, Sheree got potato chips. Coleslaw be feeding popsicles to her baby. So I don't think it's any more things than Lunchables and stuff and, you know, SpaghettiOs over there. The other lady, Belinda, might have cooked, but I think that's a ship that has sailed for him. I think Belinda is no longer available for Martell and his foolishness. So I don't know what he eating, but he gonna help Courtney. He was supposed to be helping Marcel. I don't know how that worked out, but apparently they not working together on Marcel's diet plan anymore. They start telling Courtney what happened at the cookout. You know, we know Stormy told him what happened, but he got to get it, you know, the men's version, another version. Sometimes that's better to find out other angles of the situation. Courtney said he doesn't like Marcel's energy. And Martell pointed out that although Marcel is an asshole, Stormy can't be running around here calling people a bitch too.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. Courtney says she'll be all right. I don't know what that means.
Them two are messed together, ain't they?
Like, I think he said, don't worry about it.
Like, I got her.
That's what I got from it.
And he probably tell her that on the side.
Yeah, but he's not about to do it here on camera. I respect it. I like Courtney. So I like the way he moved. I ain't mad at it. Chris asked if him and Marcel should sit down and have a conversation. And Courtney said he open to it, but he ain't doing it at Black. I don't see why we need to have another conversation. Marcel doesn't do well with conversations. You're only going to get pissed off. Like, why would we do, why? Don't have a conversation with him. Just agree to disagree and be cordial. Marcel already said he don't give a shit. He been his whole life without Courtney and Stormy. He could care less whether he hang out with them or not. Honestly, I think if they showed up and act like there was no $100, that would be fine.
That's crazy.
I feel like that conversation should be over.
Because at this point, he didn't pay it.
He paid the $100. We don't have to talk about it anymore. You don't. I mean, it's not worth being that mad over. And I mean, Stormy called him a bitch repeatedly. I feel like y'all are even.
Y'all got y'all lit. You paid $100 and she called you several bitches.
She's still calling you a bitch. And she throwing in a few sassies. Chris said Martell's still not out the house, and Martell said he got 20 more days. 20 more days.
Why he keep adding? He was supposed to be out last week, wasn't he?
I feel like the trade-off is Martell will ask Chris to come film with him if he will leave him alone. And Chris like, I'm gonna come, but I'm still gonna mention that you ain't out of that house yet.
Yeah, you making yourself look bad, Martell.
And Chris too. Chris, get him out. I guess maybe he's like, I mean, for the sake of the friendship, I'm gonna let him stay. And this is the thing. He's got to be paying rent. You know what I'm saying? He's not just squatting. He's paying the rent, so they're not pressed.
He said as long as he was paying, he was good.
Yeah.
But you stopping the sale, homeboy. Get out.
In the way of business. So Chris, don't do business with him anymore.
Yep, that's how that's gonna have to be.
This girl Kiki and her husband is over at a storage unit. And then when I say that was one raggedy packed storage unit, what is the mess that's going on over there, Kiki? That right there is a reflection of what's going on in your life. What's your storage unit look like that for? Y'all just be going to the storage unit, random taking things out and putting it in?
Girl, for up in Detroit, their storage unit was real clean. You should have had them pack it up.
Because they don't move all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're moving and
what they staying in apartments?
They must be. Or rental homes. Because the whole reason why they're moving is for the boy can go to a school to get better opportunities playing football. And I'm like, you wouldn't be selling your house like that. So you would have to be renting.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's a whole lot of moving. Because didn't she say 3 times or something?
That's what she
Third move. She had just moved there at the beginning of last year, right? When Wanda went to go see her, she was moving then.
I don't know, girl. Some people move a lot.
I guess it's too much for me. Shit. I hate moving.
But I mean, I guess her and Tisha got that in common, where they move around. We don't know where they're staying.
They probably did that. That's probably a family thing. They probably do that.
Just moving all damn time.
I've
heard of people doing a whole lot for these kids to play football. Anyway, I know ain't nobody gonna be selling their house to be keeping up with no football schedule at school. But anyway, Mel calls and she asked could she come through. Now, who comes through at the storage? I don't know why this had to be a thing. It just didn't make sense to me because well, I guess we couldn't meet at their house because
They
So,
moving.
based on what the storage looked like, I'm guessing the house is probably a disaster. She comes over there, she lets Kiki know. She just came to check on her. She'd have called, I called to check on you and Tisha, but I just want to check on you and make sure you're good. So we got to recap this situation again. And she's like, Amin must be very cool, low key, because she's like, I've never seen you out of character like that before. I don't understand, what had happened. What had happened was, we know what had happened, and his wife egged it on, so there was no turning back. Mel said everybody was talking about how much they love you. What happened?
You don't hear her barking?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I'm being attacked on the side.
I can't hear her. Yeah, Mel was like, everybody said how much they love you, and Tisha was like, Amin was like, that's fake. And I'm sure it was fake.
Yeah.
I don't think they love him. I don't think that. Sissy, what is happening?
She is being wild.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's wild.
Who that? Mel said, well, I do know. If somebody threw a drink on Kiki and threw cards at her, you would step in to intervene on her behalf. And he said it wasn't that he stepped in, it was that he threw out the whole drug thing. It's like he'd been holding that.
He has.
I was like, he ain't been holding it. He's been using it a lot. He says it all the time.
Well, that's his go-to.
Like I said before, if Kiki is out there with a drug problem and she goes somewhere showing out, that's what everybody's gonna go to. Even if it's not to the extent that Marceau did, they still gonna look at it like, what's
because
going on?
I'd have been thinking it. I might not have said it and acted a fool like Marceau did, but my mind, I'd have been sitting up there thinking like, nah, I want that girl back on that shit.
Is she high? Because what the hell is wrong with her?
Yeah, because it wasn't that serious
at all.
After we done saw you on Crime Stoppers.
Look, and nobody said you were a thief. Nobody said Kiki be out here stealing. So clearly seeing you on Crime Stoppers is out of the ordinary. That's not something that we're used to. That's not behavior that we're used to coming from Kiki. Well, Mel was like, well, you know what? Yeah, I respect that you've been like trying to, act on your sobriety. And Kiki said, listen, I don't know, like, I wish there was something in me that could like make me stop before I get to that point where I lose control. And Mel was like, have you tried therapy? And she was like, yeah, I'm in therapy right now, but I haven't got to that part yet. We haven't got to the part where we do anger management yet. That's the stuff I'll be talking about with Kiki.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you say stuff like that, Kiki, it sounds like a lie. And then, your whole like that part, I just getting started. It's just all pretty fresh. And we haven't got to that part yet. Mel was like, well, listen, I respect that you've been working on it, that you've been going to therapy, that you've been getting, trying to do better. And I know that these rumors out here, are affecting you. And what you should do is just basically shut that shit down. I think you should take a drug test. And I have one right here in the car waiting for you to take. And that's where we ended, with Kiki looking a fool.
And then Kiki basically saying she ain't finna do that shit.
Now, I heard a lot of people saying she can't take it because of the methadone, but I feel like, yeah, you can. Otherwise, how would they be able to tell? Like, I've seen like drug tests, the way it's set up where it'll go by a color, and the color will say what exactly it is that show up in your.
But she didn't even say, because if that's the thing, she would be like, well, I'm taking methadone, so it's gonna come.
No, she said she'd take a drug test when he take a lie detector test.
She know he ain't gonna take it.
And again, here I am again at one thing has nothing to do with the other, because at the end of the day, who gives a shit whether he cheated on his wife or where he needs a lie detector? None of that matters, because when we talking about Kiki is, if I'm Mel, I'm sitting here like trying to have your back, and the people is out here saying that you're doing drugs. So maybe we should just squash it. That way everybody feels better. That way they can't bring that up. I don't know why we're talking about Marceau and a drug and a lie detector test, because it don't matter. We don't care. Especially Tisha. She don't care. But are you doing drugs, Kiki? Because that's a different conversation.
Look, it says, and I looked it up. It said does not usually detect methadone, which will require more specialized drug tests looking for that particular chemical makeup. So basically it said drug tests will pick up heroin, codeine, and morphine, but it will not detect methadone unless it's a more specialized. And I'm sure what she got over the counter ain't a more specialized.
It's not more specialized, I'm sure. Not what I seen, I don't know that it's a heroin, probably, but it was like a color chart thing.
Yeah, because
and I guess whatever color pop up, huh?
They was testing on energy drinks with that.
Yeah, it'll say like cocaine, marijuana, I guess heroin and all of that is on there. But anyway, Kiki, I don't know where we go from here. This is 22. Do we have 8 more episodes? Are they going all the way to 30? What is happening?
Yeah, I guess so. We ain't got shit else.
They haven't even got to Houston. They haven't even gone. Can we go to Houston? I'm ready to go. I don't want to talk about Crime Stoppers anymore.
That Crime Stoppers been cutting up in Huntsville.
Good grief. I feel like, you know how we're going to end this video. I'm going to go ahead and put that disclaimer up there. But before I do that, can you tell them what to do?
Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye, y'all.